We're back. You guys wanted the Protoss one, and here it is. How Protoss units were in 2010. Uploaded the same day as the Terran one. Finally, it's been a couple of days. Woo! Does the sound good? Dude, it sounds so dangerous already. Ooh! Whoa, look at that. Look at that pylon. That's cool. Look at that pylon. Do you see that, how it morphs? And the cannons look different? Wait, the Zealots are the Zealots are the Brood War Zealots. Did we just pay money for Zealot skins from Brood War and they had it in 2010? These are Brood War Zealots, aren't they? Yeah, they are.
Commander. Our forward base.
Similar. Okay, similar.
These Terrans continue to bring their forces to this platform. They will serve only to feed the Zerg swarm if we do not destroy them quickly.
Minerals are adjusted here kind of properly, see? Not like the Terran video that we watched a while back. Yeah, the CC, I don't like the Terran buildings sucked. I'm glad they changed them. They look bad. The Protoss one looked pretty cool though.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to show you a demo of StarCraft II. Before we begin today, I'd like to remind everybody this is a demo. This is still work in progress. We've got a lot of balance work ahead of us. Nothing you're going to see here.
A lot of balance work ahead of you.
We're going to begin today with these Protoss Zealots. This is a classic unit from the original StarCraft.
They move like the Brood War ones.
Armed with their powerful side blades, and they're still protected by.
Okay, one thing I want to say: the sound that of him talking is a little bit low. It's on max. I can't fix it. So these Zealots are StarCraft II Zealots, but they move like the Brood War ones. And I gotta say, this is way better than what we got in StarCraft II.
Very
just saying.
tough personal body shield. In StarCraft II, the Zealots also have a special charge ability. This allows the Zealot to close quickly with his enemies.
That's right.
The Zealot's charge makes him extremely dangerous against ranged defenders like these Marines.
Against everything. Okay, that sound sucks.
Attention, Protoss. This is Admiral Beastyqt of the Terran Dominion. You will withdraw immediately.
And that barracks was burning.
Be annihilated.
Terrans are bringing in their siege tanks.
I was like, what is that? Like that looks like, what the hell is that?
Original StarCraft, and they're in a classic Terran position. Using
That looks terrible.
They're shelling our Zealots from range, forcing our Zealots to go the long way around, and you can see our infantry are just taking a pounding as they try to approach this Terran position.
Only
just
if you
can't
knew.
Withstand all of that heavy Terran firepower. In order to attack a Terran position like this, that's so well defended, we're going to need to bring in another new Protoss weapon of war. After the destruction of Ire and the events of Brood War, the Protoss have been forced to adapt. They created these. These are the Immortals. They have a special type of Protoss.
Hardened shells.
It's a hardened shield
Shield.
that activates only when the Immortal is struck by a very powerful attack. You can see the hardened shield.
This is how it was in
now,
Wings.
And they're absorbing most of this Terran fire.
This is how it was in Wings of Liberty, okay? This is how it actually was. The things did not do shit to them. The way it worked is Immortals had 100 shields, but you could only do 10 damage at a time. And that's how it looked like. The Immortals looked a bit different, better, but that's how the shields look like. So basically a siege tank needs to shoot 10 times to take off the shields, and then they take the normal damage.
Makes the Immortal the perfect choice to assault this kind of defended Terran position.
Their range seems very small. So maybe they buffed the range before they released the game?
Reapers, move in!
Dude, if they drop those grenades, my computer's gonna disconnect.
Terrans are sending in their Reapers. This infantry unit is armed with 2 pistols and uses a jump pack to avoid different types of terrain. Their small pistols don't activate the hardened shields of the Immortals. This makes the Reaper the perfect choice for countering these powerful Protoss troops.
Okay, so this is not how it was in Wings. You still had to go through shields, but it seems that here you only go through shields if you do more than certain amounts of damage. Interesting. Or maybe it just didn't activate the shield. I don't know.
Something the Reapers really excel at. You can see how powerful they can really be hunting down slow-moving units on the field of battle. In addition, the Reapers can use their jump packs to be very effective base raiders. Once enemy forces are inside a Protoss base...
Look at those cannons, they remind me of the whack-a-mole. Look at them, like whack-a-mole. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look at this.
Once enemy forces are inside a Protoss base, one of the first things we'll often go for is our pylons. And with our pylon down, our photon cannons go offline, making
but
it
War Prism
to continue to attack. Fortunately, we have some new weapons. The Protoss can use the phase prism to create a power field anywhere they wish. You can see with our photon cannons back online, these Reapers have no choice but to run for cover.
Well, they have a choice to do the grenades and just make the whole Protoss base explode. We've seen it, Blizzard. Don't lie to me.
In addition to a number of new units, the Protoss also have access to some new mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
Protoss can use Warp In to teleport units anywhere they want into pylon power. You can see here we've created some Stalkers. This is a new type of specialist Protoss Dark Dragoon. It's not very tough, but it does have a powerful weapon. In addition, it has a special blink ability that allows it to teleport a short distance anywhere it can see. This allows the Stalker to avoid certain types of obstacles.
Wait, so Stalkers were obviously a replacement for Dragoon, but do you see how derpy they are? Did they purposely make StarCraft II Stalkers derpy? Look when they move, they run around. Look at this.
In addition, it has a special blink ability that allows it to teleport a short distance anywhere it can see.
Look, do you see what they're, look at this now. You see what they're doing?
Stalker to avoid certain types of
Look at that.
obstacles.
They literally made them derpy on purpose.
And it also makes the Stalker very potent at chasing down fleeing enemy forces.
They're very potent, that's right.
Zerg forces detected. Multiple contacts closing in on our position.
The Zerg have arrived sooner than we expected. You can see they're
Dude.
using the Nidus worms here.
Wait, that Nidus looks really badass. What the hell?
The Zerg have arrived sooner than we expected. You can
It
see
should be
they're
a bit
using the
bigger.
Nidus worms here to create a beachhead, sending Zerglings against us. You'll also notice that we're using our Stalkers here to blink away from these Zerglings. This is an example of how a skilled player can use the Stalker's blink ability to great advantage.
Yeah, very skilled blinks.
Unfortunately, there's simply too many Zerglings for our Stalkers to survive.
That's debatable. I
In
think
order
you
to
just
deal
suck
with
at
a
blinking.
Zerg
Okay.
infestation of this magnitude, we're going to need to bring in some additional reinforcements.
Colossus?
Now we've shown you how you can use the phase prisms to create a power field anywhere you wish, as well as warp in. These two mechanics can be used together to create a large army. anywhere on the battlefield.
He didn't have rapid fire. But we don't have detection. Are you gonna make an observer? Ooh, trailer. Jesus Christ. Pretty sure Zealots lose that, by the way.
As you can see, StarCraft is still a game where large armies battle against large armies.
Oh no, Dustin, if you only knew, you would be rolling in your grave right now. Can we hear that again?
As you can see, StarCraft is still a game where large armies battle against large armies.
No, it's a game where a lot of spellcasters fight a lot of spellcasters.
Our upgraded Zealots can hold the line here for a short time, but in order to really survive against this many Zerglings, we're gonna need to bring in some additional firepower.
Dude, what upgrades do they have? They've like killed half of the Zerglings. Oh, there it is.
These are the Colossus. They're powerful robotic units that can use
I remember
to
this!
step up and down cliffs. In addition, they have a powerful beam that sweeps backwards and forwards, able to do large amounts of damage to small swarming units like these Zerglings.
Isn't that so much more interesting? Like even a boring ass unit like Colossus, isn't that more interesting? Like it like tracks the units and stuff?
It's the ideal support unit for this group of Zealots.
Look at that Colossus kill count, 23. Nice. Wait, they got 725 health? What the hell? How much health do Colossus have now?
And while the Protoss have developed many new weapons, the Zerg have continued to evolve. These Zerglings are mutating into Banelings. These small suicidal creatures are built.
Also, that looks cooler. I'm gonna just say it straight away. 350? Yeah, what the hell? They had so much health. I gotta say, these Banelings look cooler. These Banelings remind me of like bugs, like carapace, you know? They look cooler.
With explosive chemicals and corrosive acids. Makes the Banelings very potent against Zealots that have no defense and even dangerous against
But they
the
look
mighty
cool.
Colossus.
I like Banelings. Holy shit, how much damage do
last
they do?
Colossus
Jesus
is
Christ.
Forced to run, try to get to high ground in order to survive.
They deal... Wait, was that 40 damage I just saw?
Dangerous against the mighty Colossus.
Look, 53 health.
You can see our last Colossus
Or 52.
here is forced to run, try
Down
to get
to
high ground in order
14.
to survive.
Bruh, that does 40 damage? Holy. Oh, the shields are already regenning, and they're regenning
Colossus
really
is using
fast.
Our new IK system to step up and down this cliff.
IKEA
It's
system.
just one example of the new types of technologies we're adding to StarCraft II to make the game more dynamic. Now, while the Colossus is very dangerous against ground targets, it's much more vulnerable to an air counterattack. This swarm of mutalisks will quickly destroy our
That looks way cooler. Those mutas look
Colossus
way cooler
and
than the
continue
mutas we
on
have
to
now.
attack our
Holy
base.
shit.
We'll need to bring in some Pheonix. This is a new Protoss.
Look how
air
cool they
superiority
look.
fighter. It has a special overload ability that allows it to fire its weapon at all nearby enemy forces. Unfortunately,
Wow.
after it overloads, the Pheonix goes offline for a short time. It can't move, it can't fight, and it's helpless against a counterattack.
Wow. I'll just
Hands
bring
of a skilled
20.
player, the Pheonix can be extremely deadly. If you overload at the right time,
Overload
against the
them.
right enemies, you may destroy them all, and there will be no one left to
Jesus.
take advantage of your temporary weakness.
That's kind of cool.
Time for battle. Understood.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing too much damage, because that was like 4 Phoenix
Done a
charged
lot
up
of
total.
work on our terrain here in StarCraft II.
But that's
Got our
interesting.
space platform here. And you can see we've also got a lot of great doodads in this environment, some wonderful texture work. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful texture work.
There in our deep sky in the background, there's some asteroids floating in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
144p of the types of environments we want to create for StarCraft II.
Well, we kind of went away from that, sadly.
For honor, on the wings of justice.
Oh no.
Well, the Pheonix are very powerful against small flyers like Mutalisks. They're much more vulnerable to heavily armed and armored targets like these battlecruisers. They just don't have the firepower.
Bring out the Void Rays!
Terran armor.
Bring out the Void Rays!
In order to deal with a battlecruiser squadron of this size, we'll need to bring in our Warp Rays.
Warp Rays! Ooh.
The Warp Ray is a specialist Protoss flyer that does additional damage the longer it fires at a single target. This makes the Warp Ray very potent against heavily armored targets.
That's how they used to be in Wings of Liberty. The longer you charge, the more damage they do. Back when Void Rays were good. You know what you would do with Protoss? If you went one base all in, these resets when switching targets, they don't. If you would have like a second to attack again, or they lose the charge. The reason why I know this is because in Wings of Liberty, when Protoss would go one base all in, they would charge up on the rocks near your base, and then they would move, attack the rocks, move, attack the rocks, and they would have like the third tier of the charge, and then they would like attack their pylons, like attack pylon move, so they don't lose the charge, and then they crap on your bunker. In the video they reset and release they don't. Well, they reset as well, but like it takes a second.
The same thing that makes the Warp Ray powerful against battlecruisers also makes it very powerful against enemy structures.
Look how the laser's gonna get thick.
You can see this barracks.
See that?
Taking loads of damage and will try to lift off to escape, but it's just not fast enough to get away from the Warp Ray.
Warp Ray. Also, that building dying looked very cool.
All right, you alien freaks. You made your choice. Now you're gonna pay the price.
The Warp Rays are very vulnerable to small units. You can see these Marines are coming in, and the Warp Ray is just wasting way too much of his damage firing at a single target. Makes the Marines a strong counter for the Warp Ray. You notice our physics system is in action there. As these Warp Rays die, their pieces fall down.
That's so
slide
cool.
down the ramp a little bit. It's just another example of the types of tech.
Wait, that doesn't exist in StarCraft II, right? Like, look at these Void Rays dying, dude. They literally fall apart, and then the pieces slide down the ramp.
At a single target. Makes the Marines a strong counter for the Warp Ray. You notice our physics system is in action.
It still does? Really?
Pieces fall down and slide down the ramp a little bit. It's just another example of the types of technologies we're adding to StarCraft II.
Also the barracks, guys, this is not in StarCraft. Look at the barracks dying.
And we'll try
This
to
is not in
lift off to
StarCraft
escape.
II. Look at
It's just
it.
not fast enough to get away from the Warp
Look
Ray.
at it. It doesn't stay that long on the ground.
All right,
Wait,
you
is it?
alien freaks.
The Marines are coming, and their pieces fall down and slide down the ramp a little bit. It's just another example of the types of technologies we're adding to StarCraft II.
I'm gonna check next
With our
time.
Warp Rays destroyed, it looks like the Terrans are going to fortify their position here.
It's been
against
toned
us.
down? Okay.
As we approach the end of our demo here today, there is one last unit we'd like to show you.
Show me. Mothership.
Now our foes will feel the power of the Protoss.
Is it Mothership? Thick.
This is the Protoss.
Wow,
Mothership.
the look didn't change at
It
all.
is the ultimate weapon of war in the Protoss arsenal. You are only allowed a single mothership at one time. And each mothership costs a significant number of resources to bring to the field of battle. The Mothership has several special abilities that can really make her worth the expense.
I gotta say, they should have kept the Mothership. They should have made that you can only make one Thor at a time, and you can build it on the battlefield, but you can use multiple workers. Kind of like Titans in Age of Mythology, or like Wonders in like Age of Empires and stuff like that. And then you can give the Zerg whatever as well.
First of these is the Time Bomb. This is a special ability that slows down all enemy movement inside the field. You can actually see the missiles slowing down as they try to strike the Mothership and stopping just before they strike home. When the field goes off, the missiles fall harmlessly to the ground.
Dude, that's so cool! Like, who in their right mind? Look at me in the eyes. Tell me that's not cooler than anything there is in game right now. That is the coolest ability that would have been in StarCraft II. Matrix ship. That is so cool.
This makes the Mothership extremely potent against fixed base defenses like these missile turrets. In addition to her time bomb ability, the Mothership also has a special attack that she can employ against ground targets. This is the Planet Cracker. Ordinarily, this would expose your Mothership to significant enemy fire. But as you can see, these Marines simply don't have the firepower to punch through that thick Protoss shield.
Thick. She is thick.
Since you're only allowed a single Mothership, she's usually a very high priority target for the enemy. When you bring your Mothership out, you can expect the enemy to throw everything they've got in an attempt to destroy it.
That's right. But there's a but. There's always a but.
A limited amount of energy, which controls how often they can use their special abilities.
Dude, she does so much damage.
This Mothership would now be out of energy and very vulnerable to a counterattack. But since this is our demo, we're going to cheat a little bit here and give this Mothership some additional energy.
Oh, well, it stayed on
This
300 the whole
energy
time.
will allow our Mothership to employ her final ability.
Oh.
The Mothership can create a black hole, which is extremely dangerous to enemy
Do
flyers.
it. Do it right there. Wait, are they dead? Holy shit.
The final battle is joined. Now is the time to bring our full strength to bear. Entaro Tassadar, Commander. Carry forth the light of ire.
We've shown you some old units with some new abilities, as well as a great many new Protoss weapons. We'd like to leave you today with a look at a battle between the Protoss and the Terrans. This is the first time anybody outside of Blizzard Entertainment has seen these two.
Dude, I don't know why. I just got chills. Like, watching that, I just got excited about StarCraft. No joke. I just got like, ooh. Like, we're about to watch the, you know.
Engaged in an epic battle in StarCraft II.
Dude, Protoss has no units. Come on, give him some units, man. Wow.
ready.
Look at that sound. That sounds so much better.
Detected.
We want the voice skins, Blizzard. Wait, why is it nuking itself? Okay. Wow.
You called down the thunder.
Wow. Wow. Okay, listen. Man, like, no joke, I got excited about StarCraft II watching this video. And this is what I always preach on my stream, guys. Balance can be somewhat achieved. It's never going to be perfectly balanced. These are the kind of patches we need, especially the BlizzCon ones. Like, I always tell you guys, I want big changes. These are big changes. That Mothership, is it broken as hell? Hell yeah. Like, did you see that shit? Black hole just sucks up units and kills them? But you can play around, you know? You can play around and you can balance around it. That's the thing. Like, instead of making it so that it sucks up everything, make it at, like, it sucks up first 5 units. Or, you know, that when it rains down and craps on everything, just make it a little bit slower. So when it does that, it only does damage to the units under. So yeah, it deals insane amounts of damage, but you can move away from it. You know, there's counterplay. Or like the slow zone, that's like the coolest ability that StarCraft's ever had. That was so cool, and seeing the missiles fly in and slow down and then just drop at the end is so cool. Like, no doubt that that's just cool. That's all it, like, that's it. A lot of these units, you can see they're changed. For Protoss, I feel like they're not as changed as the Terran ones, but maybe that's because, like, the Immortal shield that existed in Wings and its release. I don't know, this is, for me, this is just so cool, and it just shows what the game could have been, and still can be, by the way. It makes you wonder, you know? I don't know, I think that was a really cool video. And I think, honestly, some things had a lot of potential. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I honestly wouldn't mind having a hero unit in StarCraft II, right? I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, but that didn't exist in Brood War. So what? Disruptors didn't exist in Brood War. Colossus didn't exist in Brood War, but there it is. Like, so what? It's a different game. Honestly, I wouldn't, if StarCraft 3 ever comes out, I wouldn't mind hero unit. What kind of hero unit? Like Mothership. Like, that's a unit with these abilities is obviously a hero unit, right? There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's way too stronger than any other unit. You can make one of it. It's super strong. The Terran could have had the Thor as a hero unit. You can build it on the battlefield. It had that charge up that dealt insane amounts of damage. And the downside of it, just like the Mothership, is that it's super slow. And that's fine. That's its weakness. It's really, really slow. I think that would be super cool. And you could make a Leviathan for Zerg, or I don't know, like Ultralisk, like some big Ultralisk could have been a hero unit. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things that I feel like they're removed, and I feel like it was a mistake. I mean, look how cool this is.
This is a special ability that slows down all enemy movement inside the field. You can actually see the missiles.
Like, imagine this. Imagine this. Protoss gets nuked on their mineral line. You can recall the Mothership to your Nexus. Let's say the Nexus has recall right now. And you can plant down this slow field, and the nuke drops down into the slow field, and it just, at the end, just drops, and you save your Nexus. And imagine doing this in battles, you know? Like, there's whatever, abilities flying down, like the Terran summoning of the units. And it summons down, and you throw in the slow field, and you can block it. And you can counterplay. Would a hero unit affect the gameplay meta? It would, but who cares? You gotta keep your game fresh. That's what every other game does. Also, I think that these things did not exist or don't exist. I know that buildings fall apart, but they don't stay falling apart for this long. Look how long this stays. In StarCraft II, they disappear immediately. Almost. Same with units. I noticed the units, when they die, they stay longer. Now, where are the mutas? The mutas looked really cool. Okay, there it is. Like, look how good this looks.
Beatastqt will quickly destroy our Colossus, and then continue on to attack our base.
Like, I want this skin in StarCraft II. That looks so cool.
We'll need to bring in some Pheonix. This is a new...
Yeah, maybe they're a bit too big. But still, they look way better than mutas today.
Its weapon at all nearby enemy forces. Unfortunately, after it overloads, the Pheonix goes offline for a short time.
I really like this mechanic of overload for Protoss units. Now, I'm not saying that it should be exactly this that this Pheonix has, but I think the overload ability is really cool. Now, one way you can make Void Rays really cool and usable is give them this overload ability. So when they use prismatic alignment, make it so that it bounces off of units. So when Void Ray does the prismatic alignment, it doesn't boost damage against armored, but it goes from one target to the other target to the third target, and it deals same damage or reduced damage to the second or third target. And then when prismatic alignment ends, they shut down until they recharge. And then you can use them again normal way and use prismatic alignment again. Like, I think that would be so cool, having abilities like that. Because now all the abilities are insta-death, too much damage, and just kind of like right now. And units don't have personality anymore. All the units, I feel like, do the same thing. They do damage, they move fast, and maybe they have a siege up or a cast, but you usually throw down 2 casts and you morph them into Archons. They don't have the longevity anymore, and it wasn't like this in Wings. I honestly think that they should make the game more strategic, slower, keep the game speed as it is, not slow down the game as far as game speed goes, but you can slow down the game in different ways, by economy, by making the spells weaker, but you can, but cheaper as well. So instead of having Storm for 75, you can make Storm 50, but reduce the damage by 20-30%. I think that'd be cool. But anyway, again, I would love to see or to hear and see on YouTube what you guys think about all these. Did you enjoy the video? I think some of these have a lot of potential and are just straight up really, really cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below.